The day in the life of a grad and a VAC at Pitcher is definitely always very varied, which is probably the best part about working in a professional services firm, is the fact that you get to work on so many different clients, and the clients are from different industries, different sectors. So the work that they do is also varied. So what you can be doing on that job or how you apply certain things differs based on that client. So I wouldn't say there's necessarily one day that looks exactly the same for a VAC and the grad, because it's dependent on the client. But usually what they do is they get to go out to different clients and understand what they're doing, and if they're doing an audit, or if they're doing an IT project, or they're going out and they're doing some compliance-based work. It is really very dependent on which area of the business you go in. I think also a really positive and exciting thing that everyone loves is some of my insolvency vacationers. So we have a team called Business Recovery and Insolvency, and unfortunately at the moment it's a very busy time given the current economic situation, but a lot of them, they get to go to court, which is very, very exciting, and get to go to some of the businesses and do stock take and inventory checks and so forth, because that's some of the processes that happen when organisations go into insolvency. What else do they get to do? Like Sean mentioned, there's a lot of social functions as well. So you'll find a lot of our VAC and grads up on our 12th floor, which is our co-working space where they can get coffee and have a chat, which is wonderful, and it's all subsidized by our partners as well. So who doesn't love a $2 coffee in comparison to a $5.50 coffee down at your local cafe? We do also have yoga and Pilates at lunchtime as well, so VACs and grads get involved in that, and then we have weekly massages as well. So there's lots of different things to keep you having a fun time, but also working very hard at pitches. Yes, we do encourage internal movements. We do have an internal job board, and you are encouraged to apply for different opportunities within the firm. We don't recommend it obviously throughout your grad year, because it is a structured 12-month program, and you focus on really that technical knowledge for that particular practice group. So internal movements are usually promoted kind of within that more 2 to 3 year mark, once you have really embedded yourself within pitches and that particular practice group. But yes, it is definitely possible to move into another team. We also do an international secondment program as well. So if you are interested in going and working overseas, Pitcher Partners has a network globally, so it's known as the Baker Tilly Group. There's over 150 firms associated with that, and every year we do send a variety of employees across to different locations to work over there for a period of time, whether that's in London, San Francisco. We've had people in Auckland, we've had people in a variety of different spaces as well. So yeah, you can move within the firm, and you can also move internationally as well, which is exciting. I definitely think probably the number one common thread around kind of settling into PP and settling into any graduate job is the adjustment to full-time work. Full-time work, it doesn't sound that hard, but in reality it can be quite challenging, especially if you do live a little bit away from the office. So for me, I live about 45 minutes to an hour away from the office. So you go from working part-time or studying online to then being up super early and catching the train into the office and then coming home. It's definitely that adjustment to full-time work. I think another challenge that grads face at Pitcher Partners when they do settle in is just, it can all be a little bit overwhelming. Like starting any new job, irrespective of if you're a graduate or not, finding the adjustment of how that organization works and how they communicate, and learning who people are, because when you step into the Pitcher's office, there's over 800 people in that office, and there's a lot of new faces and there's a lot of names to remember. So I think they're really the two overwhelming kind of things that happen. So adjusting to full-time work, and then starting to understand how that organization operates, and we give you a lot of support at that grad level. So you do have a dedicated buddy and a manager when you come in as a grad at PP. So Your buddy is there every day. You usually sit next to them. They're the ones that give you the office tour and the lowdown of how things work at PP, in addition to your manager providing you that functional support and getting you involved in different clients and work allocation and so forth. And then from the HR side of things, you have myself. I'm closely involved with in your grad year, in addition to our learning and development team who help provide you that structured and tailored program throughout your 12 months at a grad. So we do give you the support to hopefully make that adjustment into full-time work and a grad role at PP a little bit easier. But everyone experiences settling in differently, and what you may find to be a challenge, I may not. So it really is dependent on the individual, but we hope with the support networks that we have in place that adjustment is really easy, and we do have that open culture and open communication. So if you are struggling, someone else is probably struggling. So you do have 55, 60, 40 other grads to really go through this journey with as well, and lean on one another, and know that someone is always there to support you throughout your journey and your adjustment into working at Pitches. Probably what's my favorite thing about working at PP? Definitely the people. Like, I love everyone that I get to work with, and I get to work with the entire business because I recruit for the entire firm. So it's really great for me because I get to speak to all the different practice groups, and they're so lovely and they're so fun and so social. So definitely the people. I think no matter where you work, you want to love the people you work with because you spend the vast majority of your life there. So the people are definitely the ones that make you get up in the morning and make you want to stay at that organization. Although, like, a very, very close second is the yoga and Pilates. The fact that I can sign up to a 6-week yoga class for $25 really has me there. Like, that's probably one of the reasons I'm staying. Also, the fact that we get fresh fruit and biscuits every day is a positive. What else? Sean, what was your favorite thing about Pitches?
Yeah, look, the social activities are always pretty fun. I think, just how inclusive, I guess, everyone is, and just sort of how fun everyone is. I guess everyone's just really welcoming. Even, after work, when there was after work drinks or just after work catch ups, you could just go from team to team and sort of just chat to people, meet people, and everyone's just willing to have a chat and get to know you and stuff.
What my least favorite thing about working at PP? That's a really challenging one. It's hard to think of what my least favorite thing would be. This is going to sound really bad, but I reckon my least favorite thing is the fact that we're connected by an internal staircase, and it's kind of frowned upon if you take the lift rather than the stairs, because there's days where I'm just unmotivated to take the stairs. But in saying that, it's also a really good thing because it's a great way to connect with people because you see them on the internal stairwell. But they're genuinely, and I mean this wholeheartedly, there isn't any clear negative that stands out to me about working at Pitches. Like any organisation, you can get increased workload at times, which means it's really busy and you have to do overtime. But that's not just at Pitches, that's anywhere you work. But no, absolutely love it.